And finally, we are finishing this. And something that is absolutely crucial for my work is the final steps in Camera Raw. To be honest, even going back half year, I wasn't doing this step, and it doesn't mean you have to do. But I love the way how you can get a control in Camera Raw at the end to do your final touches. And it's really amazing how it works. So let's just jump straight into it. And I'm going to create a stamp on the top. So I'm going to press Command, Alt or Option, Shift and E to create a stamp. So I'm going to call this stamp. And very important before we start working with Camera Raw is to convert to Smart Object. Just the same as at the beginning, you want to work with the smart objects to be able to come back anytime after your editing, just in case you notice something was done not right, jump straight into it and work non-destructively over and over. So after this is created, I'm going to filter and Camera Raw filter. So what I do in these final steps, I barely work with the contrast because contrast also tend to change the saturation values in here. So I'm really giving up on this. Rather, I like to work with the blacks. I often make the blacks a little bit darker, and we can even go with shadows and highlights just a little bit to increase the contrasts just if we want this. I'm a huge fan of huge contrast, so I said I'm a huge fan of huge contrast. It doesn't have necessarily sense, but yes, I'm a fan of huge contrasts. So let's make them that way because I think it truly looks amazing if it's done that way. So this is the first step I'm doing, and after that, as I mentioned to you before, I love to work with hue, saturation and luminance. Let's leave the clothes first. I don't really want to work with the clothes, but as I told you before, the sky needs to work on, and I love to work at the end with this. So I work with the hue. Let's make this a little darker, not till this level of course, but just a little darker. I'm going to see also how the saturation works over here, just to adjust that all into the perfect way. So maybe somewhere around here. I like this cyan working with the red just amazingly. So let's adjust this still that way. I think it looks really amazing. Also, the other things, if you find your clothes having not right hue, this is your chance to adjust this. So for example, you think the trousers have the wrong hue, just by the few points you can easily really adjust this issue over here. So this is your chance, your occasion. The same about the saturation. If you think something is over or under saturated, this is your chance to do this. I was happy with my work, so not really having a job here to do. So now, after I'm happy with the result, I'm just going to hit OK. And let's have a look. I'm just making sure the sky is correct. I'm not truly happy, not fully happy, so I would go slightly lower. And also with the luminance. Let's have a look. I think this is something I really like. So let's jump into the next lesson with some other example.